What's going on, guys? Charged up here in the garage with the R6. She looks awesome and ready to go for this riding season. It cannot come any quicker, honestly. What is going on with the weather? Anyways, for today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to check and adjust your clutch free play. Now, if your clutch free play is not correct, it can make your bike difficult to ride and even damage the clutch plates. Don't let this happen to your bike, especially because it's such an easy adjustment to make. Some people call it free play, tension, slack, or even slop. I've heard slop before too. What I am referring to is the free movement of the clutch lever before the cable meets any resistance from the clutch springs down in the engine. It's important to have the right amount of free play for 3 reasons. Reason number 1, for clutch function, obviously. Reason number 2, for clutch feel, how you feel it and how you can adjust it. And reason number 3, for the longevity of the actual cable and your clutch plates. Now, this is something that you have to adjust periodically to account for the wear of the clutch plates. If you don't have enough clutch cable free play, then your clutch won't be fully pressed together when you release the lever, and that can cause issues. For example, clutch slip when you're trying to accelerate, and we don't want that. Now, on the other hand, if you have too much cable free play, then the clutch might not fully disengage when you pull the lever in. If this is the case, the bike might want to creep forward when you are stopped at a red light or stop sign or something like that, and you will definitely notice that shifting gears is much harder. Now, as usual, please check the specifications for your bike because this does vary from bike to bike. For this R6, 2017 to 2021, and to be honest with you, 2006 to 2017 as well, the free play for this R6 is 10 to 50 millimeters as per the service manual. All right, well, how do we check the free play? Well, let me show you 2 methods, and in my opinion, the second method is probably the better way of checking, and I'll explain why. Option number 1. Now for the clutch cable free play, it's typically measured at the end of the lever. You can grab your ruler, millimeter and inches. I use the millimeter side. So for example, let's say 220, 240. Yeah, we're at 240. So if I were to take that measurement, according to my spec, between 10 and 15, that would be off. Obviously, I'm getting 20. So at this point, I would go ahead and adjust the free play. However, because I have aftermarket levers and it's a shorty lever, that method is not gonna work. Let me show you option number 2, and the method I like to always use when checking my bike because I feel like it's more reliable, and even if you have levers from OEM or aftermarket, this method always works. Okay, option number 2. Instead of measuring at the end of the lever like in option number 1, I am going to measure the gap between the back of the lever and the perch. This way, the measurement will remain consistent regardless of what levers are on the bike. Now for this measurement, I like to actually keep it a general number between 2 to 4 millimeters. Again, always check your bike specs just to obviously make sure that it is for your bike. However, I have done this to numerous bikes and the 2 to 4 millimeters works. Now you could use a tape measure, ruler, or other means to measure the gap, but I've learned another method which is a little bit faster. What I like to do is grab some coins. The Canadian nickel is exactly 2 millimeters thick. So if you stack 2 of them together, well, I mean, that makes 4. So there's your 2 to 4 millimeters of thickness. Okay, so I've got 2 nickels for the 4 millimeters as a feeler gauge. All you gotta do is now move it to the end of the free play and try to slide them in. Let me show you how. Let's check the free play. Now, obviously with this method and with our aftermarket lever, we're gonna pull on the lever until we get some resistance. And as you can see right over here, I'm trying to put it in there, but it'll just not go. If I pull on it harder, then it'll go into 4 millimeters. Yeah, it'll fit now because I pulled after the resistance. So basically, if you're not even able to fit 1 coin in, then you obviously need more slack. If you have a ton of room beyond the 2 coins, then you need to take out or reduce the amount of slack, so an adjustment would need to be made. Right now, my cable free play is good. I did check it not too long ago, so I'm good. However, I'm still gonna show you guys how to do this. To adjust the cable free play, once again, we have 2 options. The first option is the most convenient, and that's because it is right over here, right by the lever. This is an adjuster. Now on some motorcycles, there'll be a lock nut, depending on what type of motorcycle you're looking at, but most modern motorcycles will have this quick little knobby portion right here, a knobby adjuster, and this actually allows you to make quick on-the-fly adjustments even while you're riding. So if you spin the adjuster inwards, it'll increase the slack, and if you back off the adjuster, it will decrease the slack. So let me show you right now. So this is all the way, I've pushed it in now. Look at all the free play we have right there. Look at all that free play. So we have a ton of free play, and I'll show you guys with the coins. Once you pull it and a bit of slack, look at that, the 2 coins fit in. Actually, I could probably fit in 2.5 cords. I could probably fit a Canadian dime in there as well. So that is obviously too much. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold it out here, and I'm just showing you guys, this is not usually how I do it, but I'm gonna show you guys like this. I'm gonna pull on it, and then I'm gonna adjust this. Now I'm pulling the adjuster that way, and you can see that the lever is moving as I do this. Now, this way, now not even one coin will fit in there. So that's way too little slack. So I need more slack now. So I'm gonna go ahead and go the other way and put it back to where I was. Now I'm gonna come back here, pull on the lever, and there you go. The 2mm coin fits in properly with a tiny bit of more space, as previously the 2 coins will definitely not fit in there. So in this case, the 2 to 4mm, I am good. I'm good. If for whatever reason you cannot achieve the right free play from this adjuster, well then you will have to move to the other side of the bike. Obviously you follow your clutch cable down. It's most likely on the opposite side of the bike. And this is where you'll have another adjuster where you can make major adjustments. Now for bikes that have the lock nut, make sure you do tighten that lock nut down. On most modern bikes now, it just has the adjuster, the knob, so you can just leave it at where it is. Okay, so we're gonna follow this cable, which is the clutch cable. As you can see, it comes down to that side, right over there. And as you see, it comes down that way. That's the cable right there. That's the cable right there. And as you can tell, well, we can't get at it because with the R6, we're gonna have to remove the right side fairing.
A few moments later.
And the fairing is off. If you want to see and or learn how to take off the fairing from the R6, I've previously did a video. I'll put that in the top right hand corner there. So we're gonna go ahead and follow that clutch cable, which is this one right here. It's gonna come down all the way over here, and what do you know? Look at that, there's another adjustment. Okay, so the clutch cable is right here. Now we're gonna grab our size 12 wrench. What we're gonna do is actually gonna crack the nut right here. Go, to get that loose, and then that way we can pull it out a tiny bit. And then we're gonna crack the other nut. Let's go ahead and crack this nut right here. So now this will allow us to give some more room up at the clutch lever. With the right nut, we're going to spin it, take that get it out of the way, and then you would literally just pull on the cable and then take this side and then tighten the nut down when you need to. And then you take the other nut and then you use these 2 nuts to then get it clamped on to that holder that was there previously. So once you do that, now you have more space at the lever, and we'll go ahead and adjust it. All right, now that we made the adjustment at the clutch side, the fairing is back on. We're back over here at the lever side. Now you can go ahead and fine tune and actually adjust it to your liking. What is important is that you make sure that the clutch is still fully engaging when you release the lever, and that the clutch fully disengages when you pull the lever. You need to occasionally clean and lube the pivot point, which is right over here. So you can take that pivot point out, clean the bolt off, wipe it down, and then just put a little bit of grease on it. I mean, that guy is moving all the time. Also, feed some oil down the cable to keep things moving smoothly. Now do this, and you are good to go. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope the information was useful and helps you actually set your clutch free play, especially on your R6, since we did do it on your R6. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, guys, and hit that notification bell for future videos with the R6. Until the next one.